Alright, hello, what's up guys? Gannon here today. We're joined by Dylan. This is the first episode of the OnePod podcast. I used to do chapter reviews on this channel ages ago. It's been months. I believe it was the last video that I uploaded before a long break that I took in between high school graduation and moving out. I absolutely kind of started to hate doing chapter reviews. There was a point in time on this channel where, like, reading One Piece and, like, going over it almost seemed like a chore, and I kind of hated doing it. But I love talking about One Piece with my friend Dylan here. He is a good IRL friend of mine who also loves One Piece just as much as me, so I'm so glad to have him here today and for the rest of the OnePod podcast that we're going to do. This is the first episode, and we are reviewing a chapter that's, like, a week and a half old at least. We are doing 982 today, and then tomorrow when Dylan is off of work, we're going to be doing 983. So that should be out around 24 hours after this video is going down. How are you doing, Dylan?
I'm doing alright. How are you, Gannon?
I'm doing very well. We are going to be reviewing chapter 982 called Scoundrel Meets Scoundrel. And I will tell you, Dylan, that the first thing that I would like to say about this chapter is I think I just started paying attention to the cover stories this chapter.
Really?
I don't know, like, I've gotten really lazy as of recently because, like, for the past maybe, like, 10 or 15 chapters, I kind of glance at the cover story. I really don't care much about what Beige and What's-Her-Face is doing. Beige's wife, Lola. Is Lola his wife, or is that the other broad?
I don't. One of them's Chiffon, one of them's Lola, I think.
I think Chiffon's the one that's, like, married to Beige, and Lola is the one that we saw in Thriller Bark.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Anyways, next chapter, the cover story actually gets really significant, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But, yeah, this one is the Gang Beige's Oh My Family, Volume 28, Run Away from the Navy. Not really interesting. They're running away from the Navy. Mm-hmm. Not much to say there. The first thing we see is Kaito snuggling up to Black Maria, probably easily now within the top 5 baddest bitches in One Piece. I think she's probably my new waifu, and I think we talked about this earlier, but I theorize that she's actually a large mermaid.
That would definitely make sense.
Because there are giants, and then there are also, like, prominently giant mermaids. Like, there's Madame Charlie, there's also the Mermaid Princess herself, and I saw in a previous panel before that Black Maria was actually, like, wet. Like, she had water on her face. She also is in a pleasure area that probably has hot springs in it. I feel like she's a semi-aquatic broad, and that her devil fruit probably is like an aquatic dinosaur. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
So yeah, it seems like Kaito and Orochi are just kind of having a back and forth. Kandra shows up. Kandra is actually pretty strong, it seems now. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit weird to me, and I think it just, like, came to realization this chapter. But there are now only 8 of the 9 red scabbards, literally.
That is true, but in 981, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but at the end, it seemed to be that Izo was actually there alongside Marco and Nekomamushi.
Okay, so you theorize that perhaps Izo
will fill in the spot that Kandra has left vacant amongst the 9 red scabbards.
That would make a lot of sense, actually, because Izo's purpose was actually traveling the New World with Whitebeard and his crew, and now that they've kind of dispersed and they're kind of all doing their own thing, it seems. Like, Izo was with Marco. I don't know what Josu's doing or whether that dude is even, like, alive or not. Mm-hmm. But it seems that now that would actually give her a purpose. Like, it's finally time for her to return to Wano and actually, you know, fulfill her kind of position as one of the scabbards, because she was a part of that group previously.
Yes.
Before she went off with Whitebeard, she actually felt really responsible for Odin and Odin's well-being. Mm-hmm. So that actually does make a lot of sense, Dylan. And what we got here? Oh yeah, dude, it's so funny when Orochi, like, picks up Momonosuke. It reminds me just how big Orochi is. I feel like we forget this a lot. But dude's kind of large. He's got this massive head. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we have, like, an official height, but Orochi is very, very big, and he's just holding Momonosuke by his neck. This dude is beat the fuck up. And they're all shaming him for not being worthy of Odin's name. It's very funny. I don't know about you, but Momonosuke is almost like an unlikable character to me.
Mm-hmm. He's okay. Mediocre for me. Like, not that interesting.
Like, I definitely like Tama, like, way better than him.
Definitely. I definitely like Tama way more.
Like, as a child character, like,
yeah.
Momonosuke was a bit bitchy. He's still incompetent. He's always going to be incompetent. It seems that he's got the voice of all things to a degree because he's the son of Odin.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably meant for great things, but in his childlike, scrawny state, he's very useless, and he's just
worthless.
meant to be thrown around. Speaking of that, dude, it is laughable just how many people there were around Momonosuke when he got captured that could have saved him, like, very easily.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, we talked about this outside of the podcast when we were reading the previous chapters, but it is so laughable. You have, like, Law, you have all the Red Scabbards there, you have Luffy, who's literally capable of fucking flight. You know what I mean? Like, what is stopping Law from producing a large room and just teleporting Momonosuke to him? It's obviously a plot device. Momonosuke had to get stolen, but it's just, like, crazy, Oda. I mean, you're gonna, like, put him around 10 characters that probably have the strength to just leap up there and save Momonosuke. It makes no sense.
And they're just gonna watch him just get
float
away.
Just flow away. And what's the fish guy's name?
Are you talking about the Red
Red Scabbard?
Kawamatsu.
It's Kawamatsu, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Kawamatsu. Kawamatsu just gave, like, a minimal effort. And then they're like, oh, well, Kawamatsu fails. See ya, Momonosuke. Just survive. Just live, bro. That's literally what Luffy...
Do your best. We'll come get you.
It's so funny, because that's literally what Luffy did, Dylan. He glared at Momonosuke. He's like, hey, bro, don't get yourself fucking killed. But Luffy, dude, you literally can fly now.
I know.
Like, dude, it's so funny, because I don't want to talk about next chapter at all, but since we've already read it and we're talking about this chapter, but next chapter, Luffy is prepared to go into Gear 4th when that dinosaur bitch attacks him. So, like, why isn't he prepared to go into Gear 4th to save somebody as valuable as Momonosuke? It's just kind of like a small plot hole to laugh about, but I do understand that as a plot device, Momonosuke probably needs to get captured. So let's go forward. I think probably one of the funniest panels I've seen in a while, Dylan, is Orochi drinking the sake, and he's absolutely, like, losing it. He says, no, I don't want to hear any reassurance and platitudes. I want to report that the samurai are good and dead. This dude is tweaking that these people are actually coming towards him, and rightfully so. Everybody else is pretty carefree. Kandra is coming here and literally reporting that all the Red Scabbards are fine, and then also the ninja dudes, like, oh yeah, Straw Hat, Luffy, Pirate Hunter Zoro, Captain Kidd, basically everybody from Udon Prison is, like, outside. They've returned and they're in the shipyard, but don't fret
Don't
or
worry,
anything.
we got them.
We got him. There's no ships yet, so, I mean, like, what's there to worry about, right? It's not like there's the possibility of ships fucking coming or anything. Oh my gosh. This dude, what is this guy's name? He looks like a thumb. Fukuro
Kuju.
Fukuro Kuju. Yeah, I was definitely not going to remember that. And before you guys roast me for not remembering the names in this arc are very Japanese and long. And, yeah, they're pretty easy to forget. So, yeah, Orochi has a stroke. He puts Momonosuke on a crucifix, and they're gonna go execute him, which is just kind of funny. Look, there's that panel right there. That's right, I mustn't forget. This is the enemy's leader. He's holding him like a fucking toy, and Momonosuke's face is very swollen. But right next to that is a panel of Black Maria looking like my straight-up wife. So, anything you would like to mention about any of those panels, Dylan, before we move on to the submarine scene?
No, not really.
Nothing really much to report here. I don't know, I just kind of enjoyed seeing Kaito. It's always really nice seeing him and seeing him talk the way he does. He's a pretty unique character, honestly. Alright, so now at the latter half of this chapter in the scene you're Onegaishima. We are on Law's submarine, and we have a bunch of big boys in here. We have, what do we got, like 4 red scabbards, and we also have...
Five red scabbards.
5 red scabbards in Duke Dogstorm. Alright, so very, very boring stuff that I don't care about. They are really doing a good job of explaining the layout of Wano, kind of giving context to the currents, why they're taking the approach they are. I get it. It's not really that interesting. Let's just talk about real quick how fucking cool Marco is and how much of a likable character.
I love Marco's dope. Like, he is so dope.
Like, the moment he showed up last chapter and flipped the boat over, and you see that he's just as infamous, incompetent, and as powerful as any of the other commanders or anybody else in a Yonko crew. And like, it's just like... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, literally, like, everybody on the chanter, like, when they saw him, like, in the sky flying, they literally saw him, they're like, what?
They're like, oh, what the fuck is Marco doing here,
What is he doing here? And then they fucking kicks their ass off the fucking waterfall. And they just, dude.
You have Perospero, 700 million berry bounty. You have Puff Puff Fruit Boy. What's his name? He's like my favorite. Daifuku, yes, Daifuku's my favorite. I need to catch up on my names, or I need to review them before I do the chapter reviews, because I'm looking so unprofessional right now. Daifuku was on there, and so was Smoothie. These are people who are, like, high-tier pirates, and they were all just like, what the fuck's Marco doing here? His presence in his name just demands respect. When you see the giant, glowing blue phoenix, bro, you get a little bit scared.
Mm-hmm.
I think regardless of who you are, I think even Katakuri's like, oh shit, Marco's here, I'm gonna have to deal with this dude. Marco's insanely strong. He's admiral level.
Easily.
He's the one commander of any of the commanders who's confirmed to be admiral level.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I feel like Ben Beckman will also be up
Ben
there at that level.
Ben Beckman is definitely probably gonna be there, but the only one who's definitely confirmed is Marco. Yeah. There was that really cool moment when we see the note that Marco was going to give to Luffy. Oda was trolling us almost when we saw Marco previously at Sphinx Island. It almost seemed like Marco wasn't planning on going to Wano. Mm-hmm. But then you see the note, and it says, I might be late, but I'll be there, Marco. Which is just like a bit of awesome fan service.
Mm-hmm.
Because Marco's just such a fucking cool, down-to-earth guy. And his devil fruit is amazing. He's a fan favorite. Everybody loves Marco. If you don't like Marco, you're a fucking sociopath. But yeah, there's Marco. How do you... Go ahead, Dylan.
I was going to say, and on to the right of the panel with the I might be late, but I'll be there. If you like see what Marco's saying, it says, look, I love Odin, but word from Wano doesn't travel out of the country. I never thought things had gotten this bad. With him saying that, that seems to imply that nobody knew that Odin had died, like, at all.
Dude, I was going to, when we were talking about, like, the plot holes before this, that's what I was going to bring up. Like, I'm so glad you said that. I love Odin, but word from Wano doesn't travel out of the country. There's no fucking way that they didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, I understand Oda has kind of, from a plot device, made it very clear that Wano is very what is it? They're under surveillance, they're censored, they don't let a lot of information out of the island. But come on, I mean, Kaito chills there. You know it's his headquarters. Mm-hmm. Where the fuck else would Kaito be? So dude, Kaito literally was going to Marineford to fight Whitebeard. Like, how does Whitebeard not know that Kaito has been residing on Wano for 20 years? Like, how do they not know that Onegaishima is in Wano? Like, I've never thought things had gotten this bad. So wait, you thought Kaito was just chilling here and being friendly? Like, what the fuck does that mean? That is a huge plot hole. Like, there's no way. Because everybody knows that Big Mom lives in Totland. Whitebeard was always on the move. He didn't really have a home base. But it seems that everybody also knows that Kaito is like the Emperor General of Wano. Mm-hmm. So how the fuck did Marco not know this? Like, he cannot claim ignorance. That's a little bit silly. I'm really glad you brought that up. Next panel under this, Denjiro. I love Denjiro.
Oh, yeah, favorite scabbard out of all of them. I love him so much.
Easily my favorite scabbard. He seems to be the most competent. He seems to be extremely powerful, and we've seen none of him, like, as a kid, what his abilities were. But now we're seeing, like, back when he was Kiroshiro, he fended off Zoro, no problem. Zoro's like, who's this dude? He's kind of a jock.
Yeah.
Like, Denjiro is, like, the real deal. And everybody's talking about how thick his neck is. That's a thick-ass, really good neck. I see that neck, I get scared. But yeah, no, Sasaki of the Tobi Roppo, I refuse to believe that this guy is going to stay chained up.
No, obviously not.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty important one. When I saw, like, all the Tobi Roppo, I was like, this guy seems like one of the stronger ones.
Yeah.
The one that they're really painting out to be, like, the Mac Daddy who wants to challenge Queen is the dude. Who. Yeah, who's who.
Yeah.
He's got... Dude, I feel like his like, whole crew is cat-themed, bro. But they're all dinosaurs, so I'm really interested to see. Do you think he might be a Sabretooth?
I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, he's got bitches on his crew who are, like, black cat-themed. So yeah, he's talking about Kaito's kid, Yamato. We're not going to talk about him at all this chapter because it's really, like, all the discussion for Yamato belongs when we review the next chapter. So we're not even going to pay attention to that. But it's really awesome to see Denjiro just being the most competent fucker of this arc. Like, he showing up literally saved the entire situation. Like, the samurai, all of them were about to get fucked, and then here comes Luffy and Denjiro. They show up, and suddenly it seems that everything is almost in the Red Scabbard's favor. Like, obviously they're always going to be a disadvantage because they're going against Yonko, but it seems like things are going pretty good because of Denjiro. This dude was so loyal. He stayed in Wano for 20 years posing as a member, as like a Yakuza boss, getting close to Orochi, and that is just, that's love right there. That's loyalty, and that's love, and that's pretty much why I think everybody loves Denjiro. And then Denjiro probably also has some sort of connection to, like, Zoro's teacher, I think. It's possible. I don't know what's going on with that.
Their appearances are very similar, I feel like, if I remember correctly.
I remember we talked about that in our whole theory for that, but that whole situation with the Swordmaster leaving and then also whatever, I forgot Zoro's teacher's name, but there was a couple theories that came up with that, and I'm going to have to review those because I don't really remember them. If they don't even really talk about anything with Zoro's backstory, you know I'll be fine. I made a video about that, how I don't give a shit about Zoro's backstory. Like, I think Zoro's a fine character. But I feel like they're gonna do it. Under the part where Denjiro captures Sasaki, some more Big Mom disrespect. Like, this fucking... Dude, this woman, this character is a Yonko. She's one of the 4 most powerful pirates in the world, and she can't even deal with Usopp and Chopper in a fucking dinosaur tank. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing. She's always over here acting goofy. She doesn't even seem like an intimidating character anymore because she's so stupid. Like, she's so fucking strong. Like, she can deal with the best of them, but when it comes time to slay her enemies, she just can't get her hands on any of the Straw Hats, and it's almost disrespectful to her character. And it is a shame because she is one of the most powerful female pirates in the verse.
Yeah.
Anything you would like to say?
I was just gonna say that it's kind of funny how you say how it's like disrespectful that like she can't get her hands on any of the Straw Hats, because that's like literally why the Big Mom crew is like going to Wano, is like to kill Luffy for just disrespecting him, for like just like beating their strongest commander and just piecing out.
Dude, that's so true. Luffy, dude, okay, so I was thinking about this, right? The Sanji retrieval arc is like the Sasuke retrieval arc, but 1/60th as good. Okay? They, like, Luffy just showed up in a territory, like, everybody thought it was, like, way too early, like, what the fuck is he doing in Big Mom's territory? This dude is going to die. He showed up there, and it really, like, he went through some hardships, and there was some liabilities as well. Luffy went through some shit on that island, but he really did go in there and got everything he wanted. He saved Sanji's family, got Sanji back. It seemed like the Fishman pirates got out fucking, like, clean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who died except for, what's his face? Lion Man.
Oh,
Pedro.
Pedro, yeah.
Pedro died. Pedro was the only price they had to pay to get out of that territory, and I'd say that's a fine price to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, here we go, like, Big Mom, we see, like, the panel of her, like, oh, I'm coming after you, Straw Hat. She heads to Wano. She gets there. She loses her memory. She's made to act like a frail old woman, so more disrespect to her character. Her crew, who was hyped up last arc, is now just being laughed at because they can't even get up the fucking mountain because they keep on getting, like, BM'd by first commanders. Like, they get BM'd by the first commander of the island, and then the other first commander, who's definitely not even supposed to be anywhere near there, just shows up out of the blue and tips them over again. They must be, like, actually tilted.
Mm-hmm.
Super tilted. That is hilarious. This arc is really funny.
Yeah.
That's one thing I would like to point out, is that this arc is really funny so far, and I'm enjoying it. Like, that panel of Orochi this chapter had me weak, actually. That dude was tripping. Alright. And I think what we got here... Prometheus finds Zeus and Nami, which is just... I don't know even why they included that little detail. Like, who cares? Seems like a waste of panels. Mm-hmm. I don't care that, like, Prometheus finds Nami and they have a little moment. And then at the bottom, we see Page 1 in his human form. That dude looks like an emo. He doesn't look very cool. And
Page 1 looks like a bitch.
Page 1 looks like a bitch, for sure. And then who is that? Ulti. People really think she's cute.
I mean,
I've seen a lot of fan art of her already. That's all I'm going to say. They've been posting in the Discord.
No, I can see why people would say that, but Black Maria is definitely superior, in my opinion.
Dude, Black Maria is top 3, bro. Honestly, I feel like Black Maria is hotter than Nami.
That's a hot take.
Wait. Let me see. Okay, well, I haven't seen her chest yet, so I can't really... Okay. Yeah, it seems like Black Maria is kind of lacking in the chest department. So, official rankings probably like Nico, Robin. What we got? I'd probably be like Nico, Robin, Boa Hancock, Black Maria, then Nami. Now, I can't think of any other females in One Piece who are cuter than those. Mm-hmm. Those lot. But anyways, yeah, so we see Page 1, and we also see Ulti at the end of the chapter, and it seems like they're siblings. I'm pretty sure they confirm that in the next chapter, that they're siblings. Page 1 could fuck off. We'll see what happens to him in the next chapter. It's laughable. Ulti seems to be a lot more competent and intimidating, and she has a stare down with Luffy at the end of the chapter. A very cool panel.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool panel of Luffy just, like, posting up with his Pirate King jacket, which is very nice to see. And they both are like, who are you? No, who the hell are you? And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was chapter 982, called Scoundrel Meets Scoundrel. Anything else you would like to add, Dylan, before we wrap it up?
No, I think I'm good.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to record chapter 983 tomorrow, so that will definitely be out within 24 hours of this coming out. This is a new podcast format, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you have any feedback or anything you'd like to let us know, please leave it down in the comments. We will be sure to get back to you. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I will have to see you in the next one. Goodbye. Say goodbye, Dylan.
Goodbye.